Jamie, I've decided. I'm ready to join you at Hillridge as your exclusive screenwriter. It'll be there by the end of this month. Melanie huddled in a quiet corner on the set as she made the call, a pregnancy test report clutched in her hand. She tried to shake off the chill from the freezing weather, but her hands and feet still felt painfully cold. Jamie's voice at the end of the line was a deep and pleasant baritone. Your talent has long deserved a bigger stage. For 8 years, you've turned me down nearly 100 times for Ken's sake. Are you ready to leave him this time? Yes, I'm leaving him for good. She clenched the pregnancy test report, her lips a bitter smile. After finishing her call, Melanie Rowland returned to the set and joined the crew to observe the filming. At the moment, the camera focused on her boyfriend Ken Lambert in a kissing scene with actress Jennifer Knowles. Ken's burning passion was evident as he locked lips with Jennifer. His tender, intimate expression was something Melanie had never seen before Jennifer appeared. Ken had always avoided intimate scenes for fear of upsetting Melanie. He would never film such scenes in front of her. As Melanie recalled the past, a heavy weight settled on her heart. She suddenly found it difficult to breathe. Cut. That's it for today. Great work, everyone. The director called it a wrap, and cheers filled the set. Ken's assistants immediately rushed over to drape a coat over him and hand him a thermos. Melanie watched as he walked over, laughing and chatting with Jennifer. She numbly stepped aside to let them pass. In the past, Ken claimed he was worried about damaging his career if he got into a relationship. With that in mind, Melanie agreed to be his secret girlfriend. This relationship lasted 8 years. To this day, only his manager and a few of their friends knew yet. While Ken went to great lengths to keep Melanie hidden and avoid any association with her, he was openly affectionate and sweet with Jennifer. Too often, Melanie would argue with him over Jennifer. He would always brush it off, saying it was just part of the job and that she was being unreasonable. The producer, Jeremy, came over to gossip with Melanie. Ken and Jennifer's kissing scene looks so natural. It's like they're a real couple. So many people in the industry are saying they're actually dating. What do you think, Melanie? Could it be true? I don't know. Melanie mumbled. You're so indifferent. Anyway, you should focus on being a top-tier screenwriter and steer clear of Ken. There are so many shippers online accusing you of trying to steal someone's boyfriend. Doesn't that bother you? How could it not? The online hate had nearly driven Melanie to depression. She had spent countless nights crying under her blanket. She had even asked Ken to make their relationship public, but he refused. He got annoyed and pointed angrily at her, snarling, "What's your problem? Keeping it private is for your protection. You're plain, full of flaws, overly sensitive, and dramatic. If fans knew you were really my girlfriend, they'd scrutinize you every day. Could you handle that?" Was keeping their relationship a secret really to protect her? Was she truly as terrible as he said? Melanie began to wonder if Ken simply didn't love her enough to acknowledge her publicly. Yet after rebuking her so harshly, Ken would embrace her tenderly, shower her with gifts, and appear so affectionate. In the end, she felt guilty for doubting his feelings, caught between pain and self-loathing. Melanie found herself trapped in this toxic relationship. That was until a few days ago when Ken, drunk, accidentally revealed the truth. All these years, he had treated Melanie as Jennifer's substitute. Bees. Melanie's phone vibrated, pulling her out of her thoughts. Ken had sent a message. "Baby, I miss you. Come over." Melanie bit her lip. She hesitated for a moment, but she ultimately decided to go to him. When she was 17, her father lost his job and her mother was diagnosed with cancer. Their family was on the verge of falling apart. Ken had stepped in, paying $1 million for her mother's treatment and finding a job for her father. Before her sats, a drunk man nearly broke her right hand, but Ken saved her life and her future. He had always been her hero. Unfortunately, he was never a good boyfriend. Melanie took a deep breath, put her phone away, and headed to his trailer. As soon as she entered, Ken leaned in to kiss her. Melanie recognized the pattern. Jennifer must have thrown a tantrum again. Every time Jennifer gave Ken the cold shoulder, he would shower Melanie with extra affection. After all, her face and eyes bore a striking resemblance to Jennifer's. At the thought, Melanie was overwhelmed by a wave of nausea in her stomach. She instinctively pushed him away. "I don't want this." Knowing she was just a stand-in, she could no longer endure such intimacy with him. Ken froze, but didn't push further. Instead, he hugged her and rested his head on her shoulder with a pitiful expression. "Thank goodness I have you. You are the only one who'll never leave me." Melanie remained silent. She was leaving in 7 days. She wasn't going to stay by his side forever.